yesterday, I guess this broke, where the Seahawks were restructuring the contract of DK Metcalf. So DK Metcalf signed a 3-year contract for $72 million back in July of 2022. Metcalf is on the roster 5 days after the start of the 2023 waiver period. His 2023 salary and $12 million option will be fully guaranteed. So what the Seahawks, this is just a little bit about the parameters of the original deal, but as you get to the lower part of this, the Seahawks converted $11.875 million of Metcalf's salary in 2024 into bonus for cap purposes. This is the key part here. 3 void years were added to the contract to create $9.5 million of cap space. So this gets a lot of people seeing this story and they go, well, what does this mean? What is that? What is that? What's going on? And I don't think we know quite yet is the answer. There's going to be a lot of us, I know, in the chat today and people talking a lot about, does this mean a trade's coming? Are we going to go look for an offensive line? Who's the player we're looking to target with this money? I think it is more, in my opinion, about John Schneider building the cap space up for when he potentially could want to strike and make the move. He doesn't want to have a deal that becomes on deck and then he's got to come back around to getting this kind of restructure done. You already want it done ahead of time. You want to have the deal purely be about the negotiations between the two teams, whether they come to the common, bounds on it, and then you bring the player in. Is it maybe a little bit of an indicative move that there is more of an opening to this year being a contender and John feeling like that off of this game and where the team's going right now? I don't think that that's an overstatement to say that. I think that's pretty close to right on the mark with where this team's at and what's going on with them as far as his outlook of it. So I don't think this means that they have to also spend the money. You don't have to just because you've converted go and do it, but now you have the cash flow in place to go make kind of any deal you want to go make. And it's probably hard for John Schneider not to be looking at the 49ers and how they structured their deals recently, especially, and going, man, they're dumping so much of these void years down the line. I get that they're in their Super Bowl window, but hard for us to be able to compete on the same front when they can stack so many extra guys into that roster because of the fact that they're burying so much money downstream. And so he really has a clean situation on this cap as far as once you get past 25. And I mean, next year is going to be a little bit tight as it's structured a little bit, but they've got flexibility. Then in 26, you have a lot of flexibility. So pushing a little bit of void year money onto those years. It's 3 void years, so they're going to chop it up in certain respects of it. So it's really going to be a very small, sustained kind of hit. So it's to me an indicator that they're certainly open right now to going for it. I don't think that it means a deal is imminent, though, like some are kind of thinking that he's got something already cooked up and ready to go. I think there's still more of a process here from Schneider's perspective where you just let this thing bake. You see where this is going to go through the early part of the year. Let's remember that the trade deadline has been pushed a little bit back this year. So you have a little bit more time on those kind of deals to jump on those kind of trades. And so this is, to me, more of about that being what's going on here. It is a little bit strange, though, with also the future horizon line here in DK Metcalf's contract extension possibly coming up in another year, and how this will factor in and how Seattle will take this into account in the way that they look at it. And maybe there's already some of that kind of common understanding with DK and DK's people, and that's part of what is bringing about this deal and how they put it together, because you didn't just merely do what John might normally do here, which is convert the base to bonus, which then just splits that base basically into 2 years. So you get half the money normally of what you would get if you base to bonus it, especially if you have just 2 years left on the deal. And so that was a little bit of what I was thinking John was doing when I initially heard this, but to put the void years on it does give it a little bit of an extra bit of a strange kind of wrinkle on this deal that makes it a little bit hard to know what to make of it exactly. But DK did do a press conference here. Doesn't seem to be anything but good, and it's always good for the team to have that flexibility so that if a deal does rear itself, if there is one to go jump upon, that you can go get that deal done and you get it done quick if it happens. Because a lot of times these NFL deals will just suddenly come about. You're not, this guy's not available, this guy's not available, this guy's not available. Oh, he's available. Okay, we're great. We got him. We'll take him. Can I hand him over? No, we got the picks. We got the cap space. Let's go. You want to be in that position. So good on John on that. Good to see that they are keeping themselves open this year to contention. We said that this is the year. We don't know if it's going to happen. We still, after a game, don't know exactly where this team's at. But be open to it. Be open to the possibility that this thing can reach that state of it and you can go push that ball forward and try to see if you can really go for it if you happen to capture that magic, because those kind of seasons, if they hit that way and it all comes together and you get that cohesion and lightning in a bottle, let's go.